Hello friends, it's Rain or Rain Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm here today to film a video for the collective, for whoever finds this, explaining what kind of focus you should have on your magic practice or your ritual practice or however you see your spiritual practice in general. So if you are not resonating with the term magic, if you do not feel like that is something that is part of your spirituality, that is totally fair, and this is very open. So I'm going to set the intention with you going into the video so that you're clear and I'm also clear on what kind of energies we are bringing in, what this reading is open to, and so that you can also consent and meditate on what I am tapping into for this reading. So I have my pile set out. If you are antsy to get to your pile, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm going to start to light the candles, light the incense, and introduce all of the piles. I haven't shuffled anything yet, and I'm going to do a live shuffle and let the cards kind of come out naturally. So that's going to be the style of this reading. So the first candle that we're going to light is in this pink Himalayan salt crystal thing. And I want to light this candle with the intention that we invite in the guides of the highest benevolence, highest compassion, wisdom, and spiritual truth that have your spiritual path in mind, that have the higher vision, the ability to see and instruct and guide anyone who comes to this video just towards their true expression of themselves in a spiritual form. So let's light this one. And if you have an intention about a certain guide or a certain practice that you've been doing and you just want a little bit more clarity about that, you can do that intention as well. Please don't make intentions about other people. It will be rejected, because the way that I like to do readings, it's part of my ethics to not read in too much on other people unless they have something to do with you as the viewer. Let's light this candle, this green tall candle, with the intention that this opens up all of the energy systems in our body, to be able to have our body kind of as an oracle. So if a message resonates, to allow for the body to kind of respond or react, or for our body to heal in the way necessary to help us to move forward. So I'm almost putting like a Reiki intention into this. If you are not open to Reiki, it won't affect you. This is just something that I really think enhances my tarot readings. So I'm going to set the intention that all of my words that come through are in Reiki form to help with a healing and self-actualization process. And specifically in the heart space as well, because this is a green candle. And I'm going to set my lighter to the side and pull out this incense, and this incense is jasmine scent, and this is also going in with the heart space, because I do feel like the heart is kind of the place where we incarnate into this body through, and so if our heart is open, it allows for everything else to be opened as well. And this is protecting that space. Do you see that dark smoke that's coming off? It's definitely clearing the space, making it so that any energies that are not with our highest intention in mind are lovingly pushed away from the space. Okay, and I've just cleansed kind of my space and my own body by doing that. And setting this in. Okay, and we're gonna shut this. Now, I also want to dress this little candle with a grounding oil, because I think that sometimes when we're talking about our spiritual practice or what we need to do next, the kind of ritual things or the things that we interact with on a more spiritual level, it's hard to ground it in the physical. So I'm setting the intention that these guides that we invited feel free to help us understand this in a more physical sense. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the piles now and move my little crystals around. So pile 1 here is the carnelian stone, and I have songs and little passages to read to you to kind of bring in more than one element. Pile 2 is this stripy granite rock. Pile 3 is this fire opal piece. I don't know if you can see that cute little shift it has going on. And pile 4 is this moonstone. It's very smooth, milky. Okay. So if you are ready and you feel drawn to a specific pile, feel free to go to the timestamps in the description and head to that section of the video. Otherwise, I will see you in your pile. You can also pause if you are not finished. Otherwise, I will see you there. Bye, friend. Hello, pile 1. If you selected pile 1 or this carnelian stone, then this is going to be your spirituality practice reading. So I'm going to be kind of leaving it a little bit open-ended, but I really want to give you some kind of direction in your spiritual practice and where you are headed. So No Idea by All Time Low. The title itself kind of gives me the idea that you are a little bit newer to spiritual practice, or you have reached a point in your spiritual practice where you have developed a certain routine, but you're not really sure where to head next from here. With this song also, I had a feeling that a lot of you are very sensitive to the spiritual realms, and that means also that you have some kind of mediumship skill. If you're not open to that, I'm afraid that you may resonate differently with another pile. If you were torn between two, maybe head to that one. But I do feel like mediumship doesn't have to mean just communicating with dead spirits. Technically what I'm doing right now is a form of mediumship where I am communicating with spirit guides or just energies beyond the 3D world. So it doesn't have to be quite as scary or as woo-woo as it has been made out to be. So the carnelian stone here is a stone of creativity and success, and also it is connected on some form to like fire and the sun. And the sun is the source of our vitality. Everything in the universe that we're in has a gravitational pull around the sun. I feel like something about what you are supposed to do in your magic practice has to do with charging things in the sun, has to do with kind of embodying a sun energy. So looking at possibly where the sun, where your sun sign is in the chart, what the part that is ruling Leo is doing in your chart. So that would be like your 5th house is ruled by the sun, or wherever that like Leo sign is in your chart, even if you don't have any placements there, what area of your life is that ruling? So it's something to do with like your ego, with you on a higher level, and what your identity is and what your identity is meant to be in this life. So your spirit guides, your angels, whatever's walking with you right now is really trying to get you to tap into that identity and be able to communicate a little bit more with this spiritual realm, to ask, to be able to like ask yourself, like, how do I experience spirits? Do I experience it in like a physical body? Like, do I get sensations? Some people get like chills. I personally get like a popping in the ear if I know that a spirit is trying to communicate with me. Or do you not feel anything at all, but you have like an inner knowing, or you see visions, that kind of a thing. Like getting yourself to really understand how it feels for you to feel energy. So the passage here that I have from this little book, Springs of Indian Wisdom, this says, a small-minded man weighs what can hinder him, and fearful dares not set to work. Difficulties cause the average man to leave off what he has begun, excuse me, but I feel like that's kind of an important slip. A truly great man does not slacken in carrying out what he has begun, although obstacles tower thousandfold until he has succeeded. So I'm going to leave this open and off to the side because I feel like this is a really important part of your reading. Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay, so for some of you, you've started a spiritual practice like I said before, and you're not really sure where to go next. You're not really sure how to strengthen it, or something has started to feel weak for you. You're not really resonating quite as much as you used to with the practice that you've begun. Okay, so I want to start channeling cards for you. This is going to be cards for the more like general or kind of conceptual practice that you're embodying right now. So we have one card. Doctors. Interesting. There's some kind of healing or like energy rebalancing that you could benefit from at this time. With the number 19, it adds up to a 10, which is a like turning over of a new cycle. I feel like you have kind of accumulated a lot of like stagnant energy, and if you don't know anything about alchemy, when you are doing alchemy of the soul, you are supposed to condense or let energy to coagulate, stagnate. So it is not a bad thing when energy stagnates or coagulates for you. I don't want to scare you with that, but it is important for you to, I feel like this is a sacral chakra thing, especially with the carnelian stone coming out for you. Getting into that emotional truth, that subconscious emotional truth is going to be important for you by moving your physical body and getting some kind of actual healing to go on in the physical. This can be done through Reiki. I'm also thinking acupuncture and massage. There's also, I feel like for a lot of you, exercise or developing some kind of exercise routine or like a physical practice. So if you don't actually do like physical things involving your spiritual practice, you're mostly like in the mind doing kind of like prayers and stuff, I feel like it would be really beneficial for you to do something more physical with your practice, like planting a garden, reading books, and like, I don't know, I'm also feeling like with this phonographic record thing right here, that this is going to be having to do with like music and getting up and moving your body. So let's get into the spirit guides that have been walking with you. I'm feeling a tightness in my chest, almost like nervousness. I feel like you are very nervous about communicating with anything that is beyond yourself. You may have some kind of like religious programming in the background that's making you afraid of like spirits. You're afraid of like ghosts kind of being in your house, but spirit guides are different than ghosts. And also, even if you are starting to communicate with spirits, you can do protection spells on yourself. That's why I also feel like that physical thing is coming through, because like, for example, today I'm wearing an obsidian, like a black tourmaline, necklace, and black tourmaline is a very protective stone, and it helps me to feel spiritually and energetically guarded. Okay, so just one or two cards. Whoa! I don't know if y'all saw that, but it literally just flew across the table. We got Seahorse, Generosity, and Good Luck. Yeah, there you go. You have guides that are with you that are very much protecting your emotional space, only letting you be exposed to the energy that you are absolutely ready for. Let's see, one more. Oh, we got two. And I will have my decks in the description. Bee and Peacock. So B is hard work and success. I'm actually going to start covering this, so I hope you saw this because I have a couple more decks I want to use. B and Peacock. B is hard work and success. Peacock is lighthearted laughter. So this is a very, if you think about the nature of a seahorse, a bee, and a peacock, these two are a little bit more energetic. They move around quite a bit and they're kind of zippy, right? But they're high-spirited. And I feel like the spirit guides that you are attracting possibly are like kind of fairy-like. Do your research before you start working with fairies at all, but and don't be discouraged if you find anything that is a little bit like intimidating about it. You will be able to do things when you're ready. But the nature of the spirits around you are very high vibrational, and they're also helping you with many different different aspects of your life. Bees, I think of work. I think of, again, with this hard work, it's success. They're helping you to find and discover things around you that help ultimately assist with your practice, with the things that you're meant to do. I feel like this is very soul purpose kind of oriented. And these guides are leading you into being more of a healer. I feel like some of you are empaths, but you need to be able to channel your empathic nature into something that is healing, that helps you in a career sense as well. With the Peacock card, lighthearted and laughter, I feel like this is, again, with that identity thing, allowing for you to show off your best qualities to attract what you need. That is really beautiful. So I want to get some tarot in here because this reading, I don't want to make it too long today. We got the Ace of Swords, Justice, so a lot of air energy, working with the mind, balancing, like I told you before, that kind of healing and fixing. Okay, and Two of Pentacles. In the bottom of the deck, energy is Three of Pentacles. So again, with that work, I do feel like some of you are going to be discovering a mentor that is going to help you with your spiritual practice. Mentors can be even people who make podcasts or Instagram content, YouTube videos like what I'm doing right now. So a mentor does not have to be somebody in the physical world who is teaching you. It could be learning by example. With this Two of Pentacles here, there's a person who was laying down, and there's almost like a mushroom type of a thing. So for some of you, you may resonate with kind of mind-altering states that may help you kind of connect a little bit more with your spirituality, but that's not going to resonate for all of you. This person who's laying down here, I would imagine that they're kind of looking up at like the starry sky above them, looking to see, you know, asking the big questions like, where have I come from? What am I meant to do here? With this, I'm feeling like with this healing energy, that's also giving you the chance to rest and balance. The Two of Pentacles can be about finding this balance. And again, with the Justice, I guess, is supposed to be reversed. I didn't even notice that, but it may be that you're not giving yourself enough time to rest and relax and check in with yourself, really getting to the core of your own like spirit. Sometimes when we busy ourselves like this bee with so much work and so many things to do, we're not giving ourselves the time to do our like spiritual practice. So I feel like that Justice card is really important here. It's telling you to get yourself acquainted with the spirit realm. A lot of times spirits aren't just going to find their way to you. You need to get into the space of like meditation, being able to sit and be one with your surroundings and your own physical body. The Ace of Swords is turning over. Again, like I said, I feel like you're going into a new cycle right now in terms of how you like understand your spiritual practice and how you understand yourself in the role of a spiritual practitioner. And so seeing yourself reflected in other people is going to be really important for you right now. Also with the pen here, I feel like this is like writing things out, scripting. Automatic writing for some of you, asking a question and then writing down whatever comes to mind as soon as you ask the question of a spirit. That can get you not only in touch with your intuition, but also in touch with what like outside guidance is trying to communicate to you and what that sounds like to you, if you're actually hearing stuff or if it's just something that's being prompted within your mind. This is all I'm really getting for you, Pile 1. I hope that all of this resonated. Please check out this song. It may have more of a personal message for you because music is something that we all connect with on a very unique level. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to Pile 2, and I will see you in another video. Bye, friend. Hello, Pile 2. If you selected Pile 2 or this stripy granite piece, then this is going to be your spiritual practice reading. So what kind of magic practices, what kind of spiritual things should you be looking towards? What kind of direction may be coming your way following this reading? So I want to start the reading by just cleansing the space with some sound. And I'm thinking of this in kind of the way that you would cleanse the space before meditation. So first off, your song is Kali Ma by Neck Deep. And this song is about the goddess Kali Ma. So actually, when I got this song, I was kind of prompted to let you know that there may be some kind of benefit of either working with Hindu deities that are also connected to Buddhism, but just looking into that folklore, looking into those stories and understanding how they might apply to you, and specifically the goddess Kali Ma, who also works with the dead. She guides the dead and does a lot of like rituals around like burial sites, cremation, that kind of a thing. So possibly doing burning rituals is important for you, working with fire, working with smoke. Visiting a graveyard also might be beneficial for you, or communing with people who have passed on, so like ancestors. Ancestral work is something that's all. Hello, pile 2. I apologize. Somehow I did not start filming this pile, even though I just gave all of the messages. So I'm going to consolidate all of the messages a little bit more and try and repeat them as best as I can. So this is the bottom of the deck, the subconscious energy over here, which is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands here is coming through to kind of show you that right now you may be kind of a dark horse in terms of your like spiritual practice, in terms of the things that you're trying to do, kind of coming forward with this little bit of like an underdog energy, but you're going to shoot forward with your spirituality, with the things that give you that spark of life, that propel you into this place of understanding, place of spiritual competence. Underneath here, I'm going to move these just a second, and then I'm going to kind of go back and repeat a little bit of what I had going on up here. But with the striped granite here, the progression and seeing dimensions, this is a stone that I actually found, so I don't really have like a professional, I guess, explanation of what this stone is used for. But being able to see through different dimensions, seeing how you have kind of been building one layer upon another in terms of your spiritual self is going to be important. There's also something about your ancestry, breaking through generational things, or seeing how there's been like a chain, what the links in the chain mean, and how they have all kind of come together to form whatever you are doing at this time. So seeing kind of this progression, again with that word progression. Kali Ma can help you work with those spirits, with those ancestral people that have like passed on and that are trying to give you information. Not only is your ancestry important, I do feel like the descendants that are following in your footsteps are important as well, and they're kind of coming through to instruct you to be able to lay down foundations for them in the future, getting them to, or getting you to free up your spiritual practice with this nudity card. This card is, I asked about the kind of general sense of like the things that you work with in terms of like your spiritual practice, and it said nudity, and that to me was very much about your physical body, freeing it up and giving it a little bit more of the ability to express love and expressing gratitude for your physical form too. Something that came through kind of strong, especially with these like sheets all over, is like being able to like sleep nude or do like nude yoga. And I did get into a little bit of like Tantra when I was first going over these cards. Tantra is not just a sexual practice, but it is a practice of making love and appreciation with the entirety of your environment and every situation that you are brought into. So being able to cultivate appreciation and gratitude is going to be something that is freeing, that allows you to be a more authentic version of yourself. Again, with this peacock, lighthearted and laughter, and then the deer, gentle and kindness, your spirit guides that are with you are very hands-off for you. They like to have you kind of discover things and have curiosity like a child, because I feel like in past lives you were very strict on yourself. You were a lot less unrestricted, and so in this lifetime it's really important for you to be explorative, be curious, allow for yourself to work through any type of anger that resides in your heart space from that's either passed down like that chain kind of given down to you, or anger that you have not allowed yourself to express fully, especially with this quote coming out from this book that says, "Only the ignorant man becomes angry, the wise man understands." And do you notice how the top part, this is, I feel like, your physical expression or the manifestation of how things happen in the 3D, is very much brighter, lighter, with this gentleness and kindness, kind of a mask. And then underneath here, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of passion that is kind of hidden away or unable to be expressed properly. So with the wise man understands, it's something that, like with this death card, the Page of Swords, and the Tower in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse, it's difficult for you to understand. It's difficult for you to ask yourself why certain things are breaking down. And so sometimes in terms of your magic practice, I feel like a lot of you actually do perform some kind of like a ritual. You do practice ritual type of things. It's difficult for you to like do rituals when it comes to like the emotional work that you need to do. Getting down to like the nitty gritty, again, kind of deconstructing, opening up the deeper meaning of things, asking yourself, well, if I'm trying to manifest love, why am I trying to manifest love? You know, is it because I feel like I don't have love already in my life? Or is it because I feel like I need some kind of deeper fulfillment in my life? Like, what made me feel like I don't have this deep fulfillment? Asking yourself a lot of questions is really going to unlock doors for you and allow for you to kind of emerge this free, more youthful expression of yourself that is unobstructed. With the Page of Swords, I do feel like a lot of you are in your head. You feel kind of forsaken or left behind by your spirit team. And the reason why a spirit guide has come through today to kind of say, hey, like, I'm hands off with you for a reason, is because you need to be able to step into this version of yourself where you're aware of all the other dimensions, all the other like things that other people are giving to a situation, but you're also able to respect your own self and honor your own interpretation of things enough to kind of let things or push things away. Sometimes I feel like some of you really need to gain the courage and the confidence to listen to your spirit team, listen to yourself, and not have to feel so like pressured by other people who are walking different paths to conform to that path. With the Tower in reverse, I feel like there's, especially, I mean, these three cards are very big because they're all major arcana, but the Page of Swords is also an action card, and I feel like there's been something that your spirit team has been giving you very strong messages about, like taking action in something, getting yourself to do something, and you haven't really believed that that is meant for you. I'm only here to tell you yet again that you are supposed to take this action. If this is going out on a new business endeavor, do it. If this is making new friends, if this is moving, if this is getting on like online dating, do it. You have been prompted for a reason. With the Death, this is like, I really feel like this is an important card in your reading, because we sometimes don't understand the meaning of death. We don't understand the reason why things have to become so dense. And the reason why things have to become so dense is so that we can allow them to be deconstructed. We can almost perform, you know, when you do dissections in middle school, I feel like this is a dissection that is being waited to happen, but it's in reverse, so it's on hold. And then once you do the dissection, you're able to see with this devil card here in reverse, see how it has kind of had power over you, or it has shown you the depths of a situation. I feel like your magic practice right now needs to be a little bit more informed by the growth that you want to see spiritually, the freedom that you want to have. With this cage here and then this breaking out, I feel like you have entrapped yourself in some aspect. Both of these cards are about being a little bit more boxed in by something, and then being able to liberate yourself. So I feel like on some subconscious level, you have things that are kind of limiting you, they're restricting you still, and your spirit guides want you to explore a little bit more, wander. Again, with that Kali Ma song by Neck Deep, Kali Ma is someone who doesn't let herself be restricted at all, and in fact, she takes the power and she asserts it by doing things like in unexpected ways, in unexpected places. So maybe visiting a graveyard, talking to your ancestors, kind of giving offerings, that kind of a thing might help you. Otherwise, I think that that's all I'm seeing for you, pile 2. I want to thank your guides, my guides, every other force in the universe that came together to bring us together today for this reading. I will see you in another one, and bye, friends. Hello, pile 3. If you selected pile 3 or this fire opal piece, then this is going to be your spiritual practice or magic practice reading, whatever you resonate with. So your song is As Long As You Care by Ruel, and the kind of deeper meaning of the fire opal piece is love and passionate drive. So I feel like a lot of you, it's important for you to examine your connections, examine the ways that you are relating to other people. This could also even be the way that you love people that you don't even know, like celebrities or mentors or teachers. It's just a depth of a connection that you have going on. I'm going to kind of cleanse the space with my singing bowl. And get us into the headspace for the reading. So I have already pulled out a little part of this book called Springs of Indian Wisdom to help you and me kind of connect a little bit more with what your spirit team that has come through is trying to communicate through this reading. So it says, the miser's money, which causes uneasiness, hardship, blindness, and sleeplessness, is not money, but a disease of the heart. Greed is not stilled with money, any more than is thirst with salt water. So I'm going to leave this off to the side so you can continue to look at it. Maybe we can reread it again if it resonates with some of the cards. But in terms of a miser is somebody who has almost like a bottomless pit of energy that is like, it's like a black hole that kind of sucks and sucks and nothing is ever going to fill it up. In terms of how this relates to your spiritual practice, I feel like sometimes you're consuming a lot, or you're trying to bring in all these different elements, like work on one thing one day and then work on another thing the next, and it's almost like you are exhausting yourself because you don't have focus on one specific thing. Right now, obviously, the perspective that I'm getting here is that you need to focus on your relationships, on how you enter into relationships and what kind of people you have attracted towards you, and what kind of people possibly you want to work with in a spiritual sense. Not every relationship that you're going to have with somebody is going to be based in your spirituality, even though they all eventually help assist you with your spirituality. But the people that you're actually having conversations about, like spiritual concepts and about like the greater purpose of your own spirituality, that kind of a thing is going to be important. So I apologize for leaving the death card over here, but I guess that might be part of what's happening for you. But I want to start by just asking for your guides to help me understand a little bit more of where you can direct your focus in your spiritual practice, what your spiritual practice might look like, what's going to benefit you. Nine of Wands, Five of Swords in the reverse, and I just want one more card to kind of help describe, okay, the spiritual practice. Yeah. Okay. When I saw the Two of Swords, I really thought that it was the Three of Swords at first. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. So I'm going to leave this over here so you can see it just as the subconscious energy. The Five of Swords. Okay. The Five of Swords here is usually a card about walking away or knowing when it's our time to move forward or clean stuff up. Kind of pack things up, consolidate things, and be able to move forward. Okay, we're gonna relight the incense together. But as I was saying, ultimately it's been something that I feel like you've been kind of putting off a little bit more, is walking away from certain things or figuring out how to reshift your focus. So even if it isn't walking away from a relationship, it's maybe reconceptualizing how you view these relationships that you're in. I feel like for some of you this is going to be group dynamics. For others of you this is more of a partnership based thing, because with these two people on this card, I do feel like this is like almost like partners in crime for some reason. This could be you and another, like a business partner as well. Or romantic, or like a family relationship. For some of you, this is going to be like a sibling relationship that you need to put on the back burner for now. This is just like, there's so much fighting going on in this card. I feel like there's a certain amount of it that you're wondering if it's impeding you from expanding or bringing in a different belief system for yourself. It may be that your belief system is just not aligning with somebody else right now, or their belief system is kind of imposing on your spiritual practice in a way that is limiting or not allowing for you to ask the questions that you need to ask right now. I do feel like with this greed can be more than just a money thing, but I do feel like some of you are very focused on the monetary value of like putting into your spiritual practice. So like doing like wealth spells or doing things that are supposed to bring wealth towards you. Spirit's asking for you to examine the wealth that you see in the actual spirit side. So this could be maybe an uneven give and take kind of a thing, uneven exchange. So if you're channeling from spirits, maybe not giving them the offerings or the respect that they deserve, not giving your tools the respect that they deserve, not cleansing things, that kind of a thing. I just feel like there's a lot of like heavier stuck energy, especially with this Nine of Wands here. It's like you understand that there's like this golden staircase back here that is leading you to a portal. It's leading you to something. But look at this person is looking back on this situation. They're kind of doing it with regret. They're like, but this, like, it used to be so good. And I feel like there's a lot of fear there about walking away from certain people or situations, or redefining them. It doesn't even have to be cutting people out of our lives, because sometimes that's not possible. It's more like redefining the situation and setting boundaries. With the Two of Swords here, like I said before, it did make me think of the Three of Swords, and I feel like this is a doubt of your own self, a fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty, like kind of, I feel like the skull here is representing a structure, a stability, a foundation of something, and it's like you're questioning your own spiritual foundation. I feel like this is kind of a breaking down of the structures that you've built your own spirituality on, and wondering if you can do things by yourself. I do feel like there's a certain amount of solitude that needs to occur for this group in order for you to really make the most out of your spiritual practice at this point in time. And I know that it's not always easy to hear the message that you need to have a little bit more solitude, but I feel like it's more of like spending time in your own energy in order to be able to kind of make space for yourself to show up in the way that you are supposed to show up in different relationships. I feel like there's nothing, it's not like permanent changes that any of you need to make. I don't really feel like you need to like go and cut people out or anything. It's just more like redefining what those relationships, like what kind of power they have over you. So what kind of things are going to be good for pile 3 to work with at this time? We have the moon. Okay, there's a repeat here too. And I'm not going to take this in reverse because it is an oracle card. So working with the cycles of the moon allows us to examine, make wishes, manifest, shed, all of those kinds of fun things. The moon is a very cyclical type of thing. And again, love. So I feel like working with, if you do have other strong relationships that are in your life, like people that you do have a very strong bond with, I do feel like a lot of you are in like partnerships or you have really close friendships that are spiritually based that you can ask for assistance in. So working with those kind of people, kind of leaning on that, leaning on your own self-love as well. Love doesn't just have to be something that is reflected to us in other people. Doing kind of like self-love rituals or practices with yourself is going to really open you up to your own energy in these situations. And I feel like sometimes when we get into situations where we're like enmeshed with another person and we're doing a common goal with another person, it can be difficult for us to kind of separate what's my energy, what's my contribution, what's the other person's contribution, and wonder, am I asking too much of this situation? Am I expecting for more to manifest from this situation than is possible? So giving yourself that kind of space and that kind of love is going to be really helpful for you to be able to move forward effectively. I want to ask just some kind of like spirit guide that's coming through, where you can put your focus. Okay, you got moose, awakening, transcendence. Yes, this Nine of Wands I feel like is really characterizing you as an individual right now. You know that you have this opportunity coming your way. You know that you have to rearrange things before this opportunity can really manifest, before you can really step into this power. The moose is slow, the moose is aggressive, but the moose is knows when to step away. The moose is, I think of a moose as kind of like an animal of solitude, and an animal that is like almost like a nomad. It travels sometimes. And I feel like that's something that you're gonna know when like the season has changed, when it's time for you to go and leave. And with this awakening and transcendence, I do feel like something, I know this is cliche, but like something that's going to really help you connect with the guidance that you're receiving, or just channeling information, is going to be meditating. So getting yourself grounded, asking for messages to come through, asking for you to be able to you know, focus your energy on the things that you're going to get back out. I'm thinking of a bank. So like if you are investing money into your bank account, you're eventually going to see that interest build. But if you keep touching it and you keep pulling things out, you're never going to see the full like fruit of your labor, or so to speak. For some reason with you guys, I feel like I need one more card just to kind of describe a spiritual gift that's coming out with this awakening. We got integration. So the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. So this is really, do you see how there's this bright spot in the middle, and all of these like downward triangles and then the upward triangles, they're all coming together to kind of form one shape. I feel like this is drawing from your own like dream world, your own dream space, your individual like intuitive guidances that you're getting, the synchronicities that you're seeing, and then harmonizing those with the physical experiences that you're having, like conversations, things that you know to be true in your waking life. And so your ability right here is to be able to synthesize and see things from your perspective. Sometimes our spiritual gifts are just being an individual, being a unique person who has their own perspective on life and their own ability to bring a beautiful and unique perspective to a situation. So this is all I'm seeing for you, pile 3. I would look at the song that came out for you as well, or maybe not look at it, but listen to it. And I hope that this resonated. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and every other force in the universe that came together to assist me in delivering this reading to you. Otherwise, I will see you in another video. Bye, pile 3. Hello, pile 4. If you selected pile 4, or this moonstone crystal was calling to you, then this is going to be your spiritual practice reading. So as I was tapping into your energy, I feel like something that is important for you to do at this time is to strengthen your intuition. And I feel like a lot of you already have some kind of intuitive practice, but it may be something that is almost like automatic for you at this point. It's not something that you've really worked out recently, so it may be something that you are almost doing like second nature. Like, you know how sometimes, like when you first start driving, it's something that you're thinking about every single little action that you're doing, and then after a certain amount of time it becomes something that you do like second nature, and then that's when you start to get a little sloppy. So there's something about your intuitive practice that is going to be benefited by kind of exercising it. So with the moonstone, the words that came to me were abstraction, synthesis, intuition practice. So getting a little bit abstract with your practice, kind of trying to see how you can do things like integrating spirituality into your cooking, or into the like self-care rituals that you do, like the mundane. Seeing more of the spiritual in the mundane is going to be important for you. The song that I got for you is Daphne Blue by the band Camino. I feel like some of you are a little bit stuck in the past, and so part of what you need to do at this time is also going to be examining the past in order to open yourself up a little bit more to your present moment. And I feel like sometimes doing those like little focuses on the spiritual ways that you're like setting intentions in the present moment get you grounded in that present moment, so that you can see kind of the miracles that are happening as you are living your life and you're not so stuck in the past. The kind of passage that I got from this book, Springs of Indian Wisdom, is hidden deep in the heart of things. Thou carest for growth and life. The seed becomes shoot, the bud a blossom, the flower becomes fruit. Tired I slept on my idle bed in the illusion that the work had an end. In the morning I awoke to find that my garden was full of flowers. And this is Rabindranath Tagore. And I'm sorry if I just butchered their name, but I also feel like this is, right now you're kind of in like the center of a cycle. You're not quite at the beginning. You know, kind of, you've already like planted those seeds and you've started to cultivate them, but you're getting a little bit stuck or frustrated with like your patience, you know, wondering, will this thing start to manifest? I feel like this is a longer term cycle. This is something that possibly has to do with your career as well. I do feel like a lot of you are mentors on some level. You like to assist others in their spiritual journey, or people just see you as a spiritual mentor, even if that's not something that you've taken on as your own identity. I want to get a little bit of an idea of what tools or what themes you can use in your spiritual practice. We got travel, and I want to get one more. Okay, shoes. Both of these cards are about moving. They're both about taking steps forward. Shoes are the things that we put on our feet. They kind of are protection for our feet. I think of feet as actually kind of a symbol of like subconscious emotion, because they are connected to the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is a very subconscious thing. The feet also ground us onto the earth. They are constantly touching the floor unless you've put them up. There's something that we don't really think about all that much, but in terms of self-care, when we do take care of our feet, it is something like, I'm thinking of like Jesus who washes the feet. It is a sign of like deep respect, or extreme like lounging. So in terms of shoes being here, and then number 11, I feel like this is also with these like wings on the shoes, it's reminding me of Hermes. It's like the emotional self is very much giving you like subconscious messages, things that I feel like a lot of your emotions right now are a little bit wordless, but listening to your emotions and letting your emotions guide you, I feel like they're very much given to you by your like spiritual team. And for some of you, you may be very connected to angels as well. With the travel, I feel like getting out, that's just a very self-explanatory kind of card. Getting out, getting yourself kind of enmeshed in the greater environment that you're in is going to allow you to see messages that you wouldn't normally see if you're just staying in your home all the time, around your own things. So like paying attention if you go for like a road trip, or if you go for a walk. For some of you, this is going to be a very grounding experience. It's going to be something where you're going to be able to see things that you wouldn't normally see. So like, I feel like this also has to do with strangers, paying attention to other people. So like people watching might be kind of cool for you to do right now when you travel and get out of your own space. I want to ask about any like energy that's coming through from your spirit guides at this time, kind of things that they've been pushing towards you, maybe animal spirits that have been working with you as well. I feel like some of you have a cosmic kind of identity, an identity that has to do with like different types of starseed, different, like something that's very beyond the 3D. Also like past life work might be important for you at this time. I'm gonna put these upright because they're oracle cards, but the buffalo, abundance, earth. Buffalo is an animal that has very strong like sacred energy, but it's being compassionate while still standing firm in your own truth. It's grounded, yet it's extremely spiritual. I feel like a lot of you are asking about your career life. Nothing else is really coming through, but I'm going to take the card off the bottom, which is horse, travel, and stamina. Again, this travel is coming through twice. So I feel like you are kind of doing like a slow but steady kind of a thing right now, where you're taking steps, but you're not recognizing that you are taking steps, if that makes any sense. And that's why I feel like getting really in touch with your intuition is going to help alleviate any fears. Your intuition is something that comes through, and it does not feel fearful when you receive those messages. It's not anxious, it's not buzzy, like it's not reaching. It's something that's slow. It's something that is brought about by patience. Yeah, the abundance thing, I do really feel like gratitude is something that's important for you at this time as well, and it's going to help you manifest. If you're trying to, like I said, like grow something, you have to be grateful for each little thing, and you can't forget to like water your plants every day. If you just get so caught up in the results, it's really difficult for you to actually bring about any results at all. Okay, so I'm going to be using some tarot right now just to ask about more of like a general situation, so that I can see more like physical steps that you can take right now. We got the Sun card, and the imagery is very much linked up to this travel. Sun and the moon, the polarities of that also is something that I feel is really important for you. Pile 4, we got King of Pentacles. So again, growing with the Sith there. I feel like this is also, there are some things that have started to kind of become overgrown almost in your life. Like I'm thinking like weeds in your garden, if you are a garden, things that have kind of overstayed their welcome. We have one last card, the Ace of Pentacles. So a lot of earth energy. We literally have the word earth there. For a lot of you, this is going to be working with plants, working with the natural environment. Also, for a lot of you, this is animals as well. Some of you actually have a gift in terms of like physical healing, or like guiding spirits through the portal of like death. This doesn't have to be like working with people that are passing on, but some of you, this is like grief counseling, working in like a cemetery morgue type of a thing. But for others of you, this is not quite so literal. I feel like this is doing some kind of like lifestyle change that has to do with honoring life. So like changing your diet, changing the way that you actually behave in the physical world, because travel can be kind of moving on from one thing to the next. Traveling, I almost feel like some of you are kind of almost taking a shortcut in terms of work that you have to do because you want things to work so quickly for you in a spiritual sense. You're bypassing certain things, but in a good way, not in the way of like, you know, spiritual bypassing that's sometimes, actually all the time, not very desirable. But I feel like you're taking steps because your faith is becoming so important to you. You're bypassing a lot of things that you would otherwise maybe had to like suffer through at some point. With the Sun, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles all together, I feel like this is very strong devotion energy. This is you being devoted to your own spiritual practice, but the Sun is always something that brightens up a reading. It's always something that shows that there is like something smiling over you. I also feel like you guys are pretty connected to like fairy spirits, or if you believe in that kind of a thing, or like nymphs for some reason, elves, gnomes, those kind of things, like those like woodland type creatures. A lot of you may benefit from like fairy tale type things, kind of looking into folklore, stories in some form, being able to integrate that somehow into the way that you look at like deities, the way that you look at just like the spiritual nature of your physical world, kind of making it a little bit more fairy tale like, so you can see that all of those in-between moments for those fairy tale characters were very informative for what eventually ended up happening. You could kind of see those little like messages that were being put throughout. The Knight of Pentacles is also giving me the sense that you guys are very abundant. You are able to manifest really easily, or you're able to put in the work that allows for your manifestations to come forward much easier. The Ace of Pentacles, I feel like, is an offer from the divine, paired with this Sun card, to give you some kind of opportunity to make money or to go after something in a career sense. So this is an inspiration type of a thing. I want to get one last card to close out your reading, because I feel like it's been pretty straightforward. Oh, we got two cards actually. Magic and root chakra. So I do feel like if you don't already work with plants or herbs or something like that, doing some kind of like spell bottle type of a thing where you're working with plants, or you're just seeing the properties of plants and crystals and that kind of a thing, putting those together and actually doing some kind of magic practice would help you. Also, herbs and crystals have certain frequencies that help with the physical body, so doing those kind of things in terms of like if you're having anxiety, if you're having stress, just to kind of help to alleviate those things. For some of you, taking a bath, like an herbal bath, making tinctures, you know, oils, those kind of things are really going to help your physical body. Just thinking of it as a form of magic. And the root chakra. Root chakra is grounding. I do think that you're very connected to nature, so spending time in nature is going to give you inspiration. It's going to help you. Because there are so many allusions to gardening, I do feel like spending time, if you don't already have a garden, like planting a garden or gardening is going to expand your practice and open you up to a gift that you didn't really realize that you had. Otherwise, I think that this is all I'm seeing for you, Pile 4. I hope that this resonated, and I want to thank your guides, my guides, and every other force in the universe that brought us together today for this reading. I will see you in another reading, and I'm sending you so many blessings. Bye.